Okay, it has definitely been a minute since I've done an update of any kind, really. First things first, shoulder surgery went well. Recovery is going very well. I had the surgery on the 18th of August, and the doctors put my shoulder back together. They pulled everything up that had gotten separated, done a little bit of cleanup, put an anchor pin in my shoulder, and attached everything with that anchor pin. So my arm is on the mend. I am doing post surgical work now for PT and everything. You know, as a joke, I said my physical therapist cussed me out day one as a preventative measure, and she did not. She did not. And so, but I am taking it slow and easy with all of my exercises. I'm not charging full on into them because I don't want to re-injure the shoulder. I don't want to separate everything again. Um, I did talk to them about it. I had some concerns that I had maybe re-injured my shoulder again because of the level of I want to say the range of motion and everything that I was having was a little bit beyond their expectations. Mine too, to be really honest. I was kind of surprised. And uh, both the surgeon and the physical therapist I have did mention that if I had re-injured myself, I would know. So I have very good range of motion where I can raise my arms above my head and nothing hurts. I can bring my arms down and that it doesn't hurt. I can also bring it back up and it doesn't hurt. And I am still in the process of working where I can get my hands behind my back and I can, as they had me do, they had me, well, let's see if I can this way. So this way, you know. So yeah, I've pretty much got range of motion. Now what I'm working on is I'm working on strength, building up my strength. I did try one exercise, well, two exercises I have. One is called the waiter's tray, and that is exactly how it sounds. It's in this case I've got a box I can use here. And it's keeping my wrist bent above my elbow kind of tucked in, and then raising above my head and going like that. Now, the Shakespeare is I start here, and it is, and I like to joke about it because I have, for Halloween decorations, I actually have a skull, and I kind of joke to myself, I do the Alas poor Yorick, I knew him Horatio. That's it. That's all from him. Anyway, but I'm supposed to start here, bring it out, bring it up as high as I can without completely losing everything, and then back down, then back in. So that's called the Shakespeare. So both of those, I did on my previous set of exercises with a 2.5 pound weight, and I found out real fast that 2.5 pounds was way too much. And I did not hurt myself, but I wore myself out unnecessarily. So I, and I was talking to the physical therapist and the doctor about it today, and she said, "Well, what happened?" And I said, "I stopped. I did not do that again. I just went back to using a ball, and it's probably a couple of ounces, and then went back to doing that. Plus the skull at work, which may weigh an ounce or two at best. So, and they were very thrilled that I had stopped doing that, so I wasn't hurting myself. So, props to me apparently for that, but also for my healing, which is going very well. So I have some new exercises, and I've got a new toy. My new toy is this yellow band. Hey, stretchy. Stretch, stretch. To be a little careful, I can't quite do that with this just yet. So, the new exercises are as follows. Just because I feel like, I might as well tell you what they are. That program updated. Of course it is. Program. So I keep doing the standing shoulder and trunk flexion at the table, which is basically I put my hands on a table, back out, so I am leaning over, and I this way with my hands on the table, and I'm bent at the waist, and I'm just stretching. I do it two ways. I do it with my hands flat, and I also give myself a thumbs up, because then it activates different muscles for the stretch. Then I do what's called Ys and Ws, which I lean up against the wall, and I go out, and then I bring my arms up off the wall. That's the Y, and then I come back down. That's the W. So I pull out, up, back, and down. It's up against the wall. Then there's a doorway pec stretch, which is I will stand at the corner of a wall, and I start facing my arm, and then I rotate myself out. Now I keep my first set, I keep my elbow bent this way. Oh, actually, first set, my arm out straight. Second set, my arm is bent this way. Third set, bent like this. And that's a lot stretching this right here, the pec and all the muscles this way. I want to say pec major and pec minor are the ones I stretch. And of course, the waiters train the Shakespeare, and then the external rotation. What I do with this one is I lay down, and I just untie the knot in my elastic. By the way, they gave this to me at the doctor's office. So my gift, their gift to me. So, and then I hold it above my arm and just side, pull it, things like that. And then I have one where it's called the bilateral TheraBand elevation, where I start with it here, and I stretch this way, but I have my thumbs out, so it's, I have to wrap it, and then out this way, and up this way, and up this way. And I do a few through those. And that's the clock. And then the scapular series elevation, I take it here, I come up, and of course I'm laying flat. That way, I'm not trying to keep my shoulder blades flat. And then standing shoulder rotation with a dowel, which is basically working with a stick behind my back or a towel. So those are my new exercises. And like I said, I got a new toy from the doctor's office. Yay! I'm excited. Yeah. Also, since the update, I had lost my job at the end of July. I will admit I was perfectly fine with that. So long, sayonara. 99% of the stress in my life was that job, as well as the dread. I dreaded going to work. I have a new job now, and I do have to go into the office. So, Thor and Nurgle and Charlie are kind of bent out of shape about it. I've been working in office since the 9th of September. Yeah, I think it was the 9th of September. And yeah, because the 2nd of September was was Labor Day. Sorry. Yeah, that was Labor Day, and they didn't go into work that day. I was going to be starting on the 3rd, but my background check and stuff didn't come in. until a week later. So, ta-da. Anyway, I am gainfully employed again at a company, and so what I do is I work on in the office on the back end, helping process referrals for home healthcare services, and that's as in depth about that as I get publicly because I don't honestly know 100% what their social media policy is, and I'm not going to violate it. So that's as far as it goes. Uh, I'm not naming the company, nothing. So that's, I would say that's all we get. Because it is, until I research the social media policy. But I will never disclose HIPAA. I'll never violate that, so I'm not going to say names or anything like that. I just give you the broad overview of what I do. And that's, again, that's as far as it's going to go. So, yeah. One of the other things I'm working on doing is working on creating digital printables where I upload them to Etsy and people buy them, for doing holidays, different things, gift card holders, so on down the line, appreciation things, stuff like that. I really would like to do something like that where it kind of supplements my income. Uh, I actually make good money doing what I do. It's just also having to I dunk about $50 in my tank every couple of weeks, whereas before I was putting $25 in my tank about every month because again I worked from home. I didn't go anywhere, so yeah. Um, I just want to be able to supplement my income to pay for like my gas and maybe on the occasional someone wants to do like a GoFundMe or something like that, I can say drop a few bucks to help out, like or donate to a charity or something like that, something like that. And the digital printables, no, it's not going to be like 10, 20, $30 a whack. Depending on what it is, it can be anywhere from a buck or two all the way up to, if I do something custom, depending on how labor intensive it is, would depend on the cost. If somebody reached out to me for a custom project, other than that, I mean, like right now, I do have one thing on my Etsy shop that is about $8, and it is a medical journal. Which, so I'm type 2 diabetic. If I downloaded this, I could track my doctor's visits. I could write out what my blood pressure was, what my blood sugars were, things like that. And then take it into the doctor's office. I know a lot of things are digital, and I haven't quite figured out how to set it up on a cell phone or anything like that. So I'm working on that. Eventually, I might turn something into an app. I'd like to. I wouldn't mind. If I could create an app that people use. There are a lot of apps that are out there. There are a lot of apps where they are yearly subscriptions. Some of them are set as a lifetime for a one-time purchase. I wouldn't mind doing something that's either, it's like, for example, I bought a lifetime license for a buck to a program that, to be honest, I haven't used it in a while, and I ought to see if it still works. Because I've upgraded my phone a few times. But yeah, I paid a lifetime. It was a buck, and that's it. No ads, no nothing. So something that maybe is a buck at most, and that people can use on their phones or their tablets or something. Because I do know, like for example, I do a lot of stuff on an app. So I wouldn't mind, maybe I don't know, maybe designing something like that and selling it on Etsy, where honestly, like $5, you get a lifetime license or something like that. You know, and just go from there. Who knows? I'm not trying to think grand. I'm honestly thinking, hey, if I could make an extra $20 a month, that would be nice. So I'm slow on that. Um, but if anybody watching this is interested, my Etsy shop is called the Knights of Templet, kind of like a play on the Knights of Templar. Ha ha ha! The Knights of Templet. So yeah, um, I am working on putting some more stuff up. I'm going to put some holiday stuff up here, probably this weekend. I didn't get stuff done for Halloween like I wanted to. That for me has been the depression and the anxiety. And my anxiety has been the last couple of weeks at a premium. It's been at an all-time high. And a lot of it is what's going on in the world right now, and things that affect certain communities. And so it's for me it is challenging because it some of this stuff does impact my life personally. Like for example, right now I am paying $17.60 per month for my insurance premium. Next year, the same plan, the same, everything behind the scenes, that's going to cost me $132 and or $134.20, something like that. But it's going from 17. It's going from the $17 range up to 132 something range a month. That is, you know what? I'm gonna pull up a calculator and I'm just gonna spitball it. I'll just round everything up to like $18 and calculator not pop up. There it is. Ah, over here. I know you guys can't see it. Anyway, so I'll just $133 divided by $18, which is what I'm paying now. That's an increase. That's 7.3, a whole bunch of eights, and a 9. So 7.39 times, if I round up the eights, 7.4. So that's 7.4 times the amount. I don't know what percentage that is, but 18 goes into 133, approximately 7.4 times. So that's for 1 month of premium for the same plan that I've got now, which also has an increase in my out-of-pocket expenses. So my copays and co-insurances went up. My deductible is going up, and my maximum out of pocket, my maximum out of pocket cap, is going up too. So with all of those increases out of my pocket, that's 1 month premium next year is going to be about almost 8 months of premium from this year. Yeah, figure that one out. And that I'm not gonna lie, that pisses me off. And there is no other plan that's going to be cheaper. No, actually, let me sit corrected on that. There will be, but these are going to be plans that will not cover anything. They'll cover basic doctor's visits, and that's it. No emergency room. Some specialists, and there will be caps on that. PCP visits, just routine stuff. No lab work, no anything. So yeah, all of that is going to increase next year for me and millions of other people. I could get insurance through my employer at about $200 more than what I'll be paying for the marketplace plan. I've got a marketplace plan. Yeah. So it'd be about $300 because I will have included hospital indemnity and a few other things that the other plan, the basic plan, that won't cover. And that plan is a high deductible, and I'm not sick enough to meet that deductible before the insurance pays for anything, medical or drug wise. So yeah, that that sucks. Hey Thor, hey baby, did you wake up? Did you wake up, sweet boy? Thor is definitely, I know, subject switch. Sorry, Thor is definitely getting to be a very old man. He's not at that point yet, but he is very much a senior citizen, and I love him very much. And Nerdle's running around here somewhere, and Charlie's probably asleep, which is a good. Anyway, this is about 22 minutes of me just absolutely rambling on. So I'm gonna go ahead and stop this, pop it up on YouTube. Um, if anybody does take a look at my Etsy shop, like I said, I've only got one thing on there right now. But hopefully, fingers crossed, I'll have some more stuff uploaded this weekend for Thanksgiving and for Christmas, Hanukkah, Yule, and God bless me if I screw. I don't know which Muslim holiday it is. I don't want to be offensive and try to say it because I really don't know. So I'll look that up, and if anybody's interested in anything like that, they've got coworkers that celebrate, during that time of year, their religious holidays. I'm going to try to, hit most of the key religions. I'm not religious myself, so, but that doesn't mean I won't design something for somebody, or that doesn't mean I won't upload something that somebody will like. So like Easter, that kind of stuff, Ash Wednesday, whatever. So yeah, anybody wants to take a look, again, name of the shop is the Knights of Template. Hopefully, like I said, this weekend I'll get some more stuff up that people can subscribe and buy. When I say subscribe, there's no subscription fee. You can just follow my shop, and I'll upload some more stuff. Anyway, now I've really gone on almost 25 minutes, so thanks for hanging out.